Right, good evening ladies and gents, welcome to Crypto Chat UK. Got a few things to go through today. I'm going to try and go through them quickly because there's quite a lot I want to mention. And it's currently about the way the market is at the moment. It's on a real low. We've had some more drops. It's currently less than 190 billion. We're going to look through that and go through it. Don't forget, I am not a financial advisor. This is just my own opinion from my own research and my thoughts on where the market's going to be in the future. So just got to cover a few things, go through some stuff. Hopefully, clearly enough, anybody who's panicking about the market, I don't think needs to. Well, of course not. And I think this might help you a little bit. Anybody who's been into the market for a long time, confident otherwise, this could be a good video for you anyway. But let's get right into it and have a look. Now, I always use CoinMarketCap for a lot of my information, particularly when I'm looking at market capitalization. Okay, we're just going to go for a pretty rough look, okay, at the market capitalization now, what it's been in the past, and some of the drops. It's pretty rudimentary, but you can get an idea of what I'm talking about. Okay, now currently 188 billion. Yeah, that's what we're on market capitalization. Now at the weekend, I actually did buy in some, thinking one or two things. Initially, thinking that this is more than likely the bottom. Now it seemed to have flattened out. There's a bit of a flat line going on there anyway. It did seem to have been dropped enough to a degree to be going up again. Didn't really look at the RSI index as such, but just thought I'd just check it out in that way. Now, it did look like Monday morning would come, possibly Sunday later on when America woke up, that it would go up. Now, it did go up quite a bit. I think it went up by a good 8 or 9 billion or more, stepped over that 200 billion mark, but then went back down again, and has kind of stayed down and dropped, slowly, gently dropped, even more so, down to this point. It was at 177 billion at one point. I think it's now, if I just refresh this page, I think it's 188 billion. So, yeah, there we go, 188 billion. Get a few greens spiking up now again. More than likely, probably going to have that spring back now, but we'll see how that goes. I haven't been analysed for that, because what I want to do is go through some of the history. Now, I did think as well at some point, when it reached like 190, 192 billion, I thought it didn't feel like that was the bottom of it going down. So it has gone down a few billion more. Let's keep an eye on it and see how it goes this week and over the next couple of weeks. But I want to go through some stuff quickly. This was a pretty rudimentary look at the history of it. For example, if we go from May 2013, early May 2013, you can see 1.1 billion in the early part. It goes up steadily, up and down, drops a little bit less than that, and this is how it goes by coming up to the end of 2013. This is what we talk about that pattern, and where it comes end of October, beginning November, or as October comes on, we've been having this pattern the last 3 years or so, okay, of where there is a big steep incline. Whether that'll continue, who knows? Whether it'll happen this year, who knows? But these are these big spikes and jumps, and as you can see, people did panic at some point when we did have drops. So it went down from there, 15 bill, obviously it hit like 9 bill, 7 bill, but down here, it hit the 7 billion mark low here, about approximately here. Yeah. So, and then you got a bit more growth, everybody excited again and so forth. Now, this is quite a wide view, so you can't see the small increments of the big gains and the drops and stuff like that. But you can kind of get an idea of it. So if you look there, we're looking at about 15 billion-ish at the top. And then you look at the low, which is somewhere down here, 3.7, 3.6 billion, whatever it is. Okay. Now, you look at that, that's like less than a quarter or so of what that was. So it could be a fifth, but I'm not going to analyse it too closely. But there you go, huge drop there alone. Okay, now you go from there. Then if you look at May time still again, you've got your 3.8, and you're coming along 2016 and stuff. We would have had some highs and some lows here, of course. I'm not looking at it in great detail, remember. And you look, obviously there've been some big drops, and we got to 2017, which was a substantial year as well. Okay. And this period had some major growth and looked like, to a lot of people, including myself, as it got to the middle of the year and later, that adoption rates themselves were going up. Okay. Now this was more than likely, was many things, but also partly many people FOMOing and thinking they're going to miss out on the market. Now that's happened a few times during this market, of course. Several drops, which I'll show you shortly. I have gone through this before. And the newbies of the market, even at these points, over the last several years, when they see the drops, they think, oh no, it's the end of Bitcoin, the end of this. There's always this disaster story and this FUD spread across the market, across the media. Okay, but anyway, quickly, as we can see, it went up massively, and we've got like November there, which is current price that we're at 188 billion. So the price we're at now today is the same price as it was at the beginning of November 2017 or thereabouts. Okay, so then if you look at the high here quickly, you can see how crap it's been this year, because there the high 828 billion approximately. Bitcoin at that point was between $19,000 and $20,000. Loads of drops, people panicking again, etc., etc. Now these kind of things have happened various times. As you can see, middle of the year, coming to about May, we dropped down to like 200 odd in April. When it came to May, we had like this recovery back to well over halfway off its highest point. So half of its all-time high, as they call 88, it's all-time high. And that looked pretty good. But since then, steady drops, some gains, drops, etc., etc. Okay? Until it's settled down now, as you can see, 187 billion, which is approximately early November price. You can almost wipe out this year's. The only problem with that is anybody who's invested on the highs in this period, particularly the people who don't understand and know the market, can see where it's going to be, they will obviously have the concern that they've lost their money. Now, for me, like I said, I'm not a financial advisor, so this is just from my own research and my own opinion on the matter. But I am so confident this is just another one of them cycles that we have. And we have had several cycles. If you look back at what we just looked at there is 12 months, 16 months, 18-month positions where it has been drastically low, you know. And if we could go back to them times and put money in, we'd be happy. So I'd say don't worry if you did go in high, and if you still got your money in, don't panic. It is going to get higher. At the end of the day, this is 187 billion. It's nothing for a huge market like this. Things will change. Some of the idiots and the crap type projects that are on there, the ones that are just purely pure and not being worked on enough, or the ones that could have been cons, because there is some fiddles out there. Don't forget, people did try and jump on with the ICOs. Some of them weren't very good. Some are great, but some of them, there was a lot of people jumping on and trying to extract as much money as they can while this opportunity was hot. Okay, I've always been cautious on ICOs, and I've always said that. Okay, so we'll have a quick look at this picture here. I have gone through this picture again. I can't remember who's done it. I might try and find out, because they did a good job of setting this one up. As you can see, different points. Look at this in 2012. Massive drops, like 49% there, 57% there. If you look at the bigger ones, 87% there, 83% there. This is Bitcoin itself. This is on Bitcoin itself only. This is not the whole market. And you look, I mean, we'd love to buy in at that point. People probably thought it was over there when it was 83% drop. There, 87% drop. November 2013 to January 2015. That's over that, what is it? Well, 1 year and 3 month period, you know, dropping from $1,100 to $152. 87% drop. Still recovers long term. You are thinking long term here. These are long term investments. And if you look, obviously we've got our latest one here. You've got your 30%, you've got your 40%. We've got our latest one, which is, this was February when it had the big drop initially. It's grown above that again before and still settled something at $6,300 at the moment. It's been above $10,000 again, and it's dropped again and so forth. But currently 70 odd percent of the market has dropped. Currently, this is how it is. Really good image, that one. Really good little graph of everything there on there. So, you know, I mean, there's something Vitalik said. If I get a chance, I'll go through this. Probably won't get a chance now, but it might be a little thing you want to have a read of. If you look at it, it's on Blockonomy. It's on about Vitalik and some stuff he said. Some stuff's been taken out of context, what he said recently, and I think Ethereum has been affected on its own, has been affected by some of the FUD that's going out there. I can't see Ethereum going down. They said, oh, Ethereum's dead, but they have said that a few times, and they said it about Bitcoin as well. I'm not sure. I'm going to look into it a little bit more, but as far as I'm concerned, I can't see that. There's too much on there. There just needs to be more work on it. So, just name a few things. What does everyone need to realise who doesn't realise it already? Okay? One of the things you need to realise, it is very early in the technology. It is still being developed. So many things are still being worked on substantially. Fundamentals of it as well as the smaller parts, smaller sections of it. Okay? We are talking here, right, about a long-term investment. All these small gains that you see, including the massive bull runs and the big run we had up to $20,000 for Bitcoin itself and all the others. It just almost doesn't matter to a degree, okay? You can capitalize more if you get on the bottom, If you buy in on the bottom, you buy in low, of course you can. Yeah, of course you capitalise more. But long term, it kind of doesn't matter to a degree. Okay? So we're talking about long-term investment, not overnight gains. You're not talking about overnight gains here, people. But you're talking about big gains because you're early on in the market. So we will get serious surges and good runs, but we also get serious drops too. Okay? You might get serious surges and 10%, 20%, 100%, 1,000%, 10,000% gains and stuff like that. But you are going to get the drops as well. So you've got to take them on the chin as well. And if you understand the market, how long it is going to take to get in there, then, you know, this is just a few of the things I'm going through. Not everything that you should think about, but certainly at least a few items you should think about, okay? Adoption rates. Adoption rates are going to be slow for many reasons, okay? So, and a few people do feel like they've been burnt recently, so they're not going to invest back in at this stage. They're not going to get involved back in this stage. They probably didn't understand the market as such, and they don't see where it's going to go. But don't forget, adoption rates are probably going to be slow. Slow and steady for me is better because we'll have solid investment from the level of business, domestic input that really is solid and strong. And that's what we want for the future. Don't forget, we will have long periods of bear market, as in previous years. We've had this before, okay? We've had these bearish markets, we've had these cycles and stuff like that. So, what do we need along the way, okay? Well, there's loads of stuff we need, but I'm going to mention a couple of things here again. Its use cases need to be realised. Of course it does. All of the cryptos. But in particular, stuff like Bitcoin, Litecoin, and other ones. XRP is doing a very good job at the moment. I know there's a bit of contention over that, but I do believe in XRP. Education for cryptos, of course, we need ease of use. We need increase in functionality in the tools. We need possibly protections with regulation. Now, regulation, it's already been talked about a lot of times. I'm going to mention that in another video about the people, the financial institutions that are talking about it. So we don't need it to hinder. We don't need regulation to hinder us. We need it to be regulated. Slowly bring in the regulation and let the technology grow. Help it to grow, but help it for protection and the rights. And the right thing is through regulation eventually. And these are just a few of the things we need, right? So, before I go, question is it still great for holders or hodlers? Is it still great for hodlers? Well, yeah, of course it is. Of course it is. At the moment, the market is less than 200 billion. That's ridiculous. As far as I'm concerned, it's well going to be in the trillion. So it's going to be in the trillions. You just got to pick the right ones, get on the right fundamental cryptocurrencies that are going to be here for a long, long time. For good, basically. They'll be here forever. You need to get on them, research them, and have a look. If you are looking, you grab onto something early on that is going to be built, it's going to be utilised, and is going to be grown and developed to a degree that it can't be taken away from the crypto market. It really shows its place in there. Then you are going to grow. You're going to get some massive gains. So if you can get on something that's early on, that's great. Just be careful what you're going on. Make sure you check it out properly. What about day trading? Now, it's day trading. Now, day trading I've always stayed away from to a degree. I've learned quite a bit about it. I reckon I could learn a lot more, of course. I've not really applied it all. I am going to look into day trading a bit more. But I am a hodler, and I believe in hodling. I believe in being a long-term holder of your cryptos, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that. So, if you can get up to a good level, and you want to dabble with day trading, yes, but please, I think having your long-term holdings as well is very important. And being careful, whether you're day trading, whether you're a long-term holder, be careful with your money, do it the right way, and just be very careful. With day trading in particular, be very careful. I might do some videos on that in the future. But listen, guys, I want a time to read this about Vitalik and what he said in one interview, etc. There's lots of stuff online that you can find it. Have a look at Blockonomy and discuss it. Let me know what you think of this video. It was just a quick one after work. I thought I'd better get some information out there because I wanted to go through this with this drop. I hope it helps you. If you do like the video, please hit the like button. If you don't like it, the dislike button. If you haven't already, subscribe. Of course, you have to. Come on, I need all the help I can get. I am still a newish YouTuber. And if there's anything you want me to look at or think about, or if you think I may have tripped up on something, let me know. There's some information I've said wrong, let me know. And also, don't forget to hit that notification button so you get all the great info that I'm coming out with from now and in the future. Speak to you soon, guys.